Long before Raven-Symoné joined the cast of The View and started saying weird, controversial shit, she played everyone's favorite psychic Raven Baxter on That's So Raven. This show was hilarious, but it also had tons of super relatable life lessons that came to light every time Raven got herself into a huge mess with her psychic powers. Even though being able to see the future sounds pretty cool, it also comes with a ton of crazy consequences. I'm Whitney Van Lanningham, and today we're looking at all of Raven's biggest screw-ups on That's So Raven. Number 6. Probably the best part of this episode is when Raven's boss hands her a pager because it's the early 2000s and Steve Jobs isn't the reigning king of electronic devices just yet. In a crazy, inappropriate move, her boss decides to come over to her house because her boyfriend breaks up with her and she's really sad. I had a boss once who had a panic attack in my arms because she accidentally stalked her date's LinkedIn without the privacy settings on, so I feel you, girl. Nobody should ever have to comfort a sobbing grown-ass woman for less than $100K a year. Anyways, Raven decides to have her boyfriend come over while she's in the middle of babysitting her boss, instead of telling her boss to drink a glass of scotch and get over herself. Of course, this happens.
Who are you?
I'm Devon. I'm supposed to be on a date with Raven.
Oh, impossible. Raven is working. She told me she had absolutely nothing important to do.
I never said...
Ray, our date's not important?
Of course it's
More important than working with me?
well, Mr.
Ray, I thought we were gonna have a special night. Alone.
Okay, I get that she should have told both of them the truth, but also, what a shitty boyfriend. He just bounces because she has to work? Wait till you start working for a startup in your mid-20s that only pays you $16 an hour to work like 90 hours a week, and then tell me if you have the same standards, dude. Number 5. Raven's known for her out-there wardrobe, so when the school principal sets a new dress code, she feels personally attacked. He orders her to remove her jangly jewelry immediately, and this happens.
It's not like these beads are gonna hurt anybody.
Miss Baxter, it's exactly that kind of noisy clank.
It's one thing to be a fashion disaster, but this is some next level shit. She literally injures someone with her crazy wardrobe. I get it, dress codes suck, but don't murder someone. Number 4. Wait, I don't remember Raven being only in middle school. Am I getting old? I thought she was so much older than me when I was watching the show as a kid. But apparently she's in middle school, so I'm halfway to the crypt now. Tight. A super cute high school boy asks Raven out, but she's only in 8th grade, so her parents totally won't let her go. I get it, man. I've seen that SVU episode, and it doesn't end well. Besides, the whole point of middle school is making out with other zit-riddled middle schoolers. It's kinda like a rite of passage, guys. Just deal with it. Anyways, Raven decides to go out with this old gross dude who thinks 14-year-olds are hot, despite the fact that her parents tell her no. When her mom and dad go out old people dancing, she decides to go out on her date anyways, at the same restaurant that her parents end up going to after dancing. Instead of making up some excuse to her date about how she has to get home and watch Lizzie McGuire, she decides that the safer bet is to wait out the rest of the date so that her parents don't see her leave. Bet you can guess what happens next.
Ray, she told me to tell you that you look really nice tonight. Wait, how would she know that? Trust me, girl, she ain't psychic.
As an adult human woman who literally never got away with lying to her parents, let me just say, don't do it. Just wait till you get to college and then you can dry hump any gross frat guy you want. Number 3, playing matchmaker for your friends really never works out. That's literally why dating apps were invented. When Eddie and his girlfriend Chantel break up, he tells Raven and Chelsea that he's totally over it because he's always on a roller coaster of emotions with her. Of course, Raven has a vision of the two of them getting back together, resulting in Eddie hopping right back on that roller coaster to Crazy Town. Raven vows to stop him at any cost, even if that means sacrificing her friend's happiness. Every time Raven decides to meddle in someone's life, it never really works out. Chantel comes to Raven and Chelsea for advice on how to handle Eddie, and Raven says this.
All I know is he better not be asking her out to that basketball dinner. Well, girl, they could be talking about anything because, you know, you two are over.
Yikes. I know she's trying to do this for her friend, but come on. What happened to hoes before bros? Chantal, of course, flips out and this happens.
Now I'm going with Tyrone Sands.
Tyrone? Well, you don't need to ride with Tyrone Sands because, you know, my mama can drive all 3 of us.
No, Tyrone is my date.
He asked you?
No, I asked him.
That's just not cool. Girls shouldn't be sabotaging other girls like that, or guys, or anyone. Stay in your lane, Ray. Number 2. When all the school clubs fill up, Raven, Chelsea, and Eddie have no choice but to join the Flub Club, aka a super lame club for overachieving business nerds. The trio wins their first group competition against their stuck-up classmates, but then their teacher throws them a curveball. Their next project is to compete against each other for who can sell the most products at school. At first, they all agreed that a little friendly competition won't stand in the way of their friendship, but as soon as Raven has a vision about her poppin' popcorn stand, things start getting a little out of control. A mysterious person sabotages Chelsea and Eddie's booths, and both of them end up pointing their finger at Raven. Raven steps away from her booth for just a minute when the two of them confront her, and this happens. The popcorn ends up flooding the hallway, and Raven has to dive in to stop it. It turns out that one of the losing members of the opposing business team was such an insufferable mouth breather that he just couldn't stand failing at business, so he sabotaged Raven's project. On the bright side, he probably has a great shot at running for president someday. Number 1. In this episode, Raven has a vision that her dad is going to lose his job as a chef. She races down to her dad's restaurant on her lunch break to beg the owner not to fire him, but apparently her showing up really ticks off her dad's boss, and he gets fired anyways. Raven and her friends decide to convince Mr. Briggs to give her dad his old job back by dressing up as a pop star named Liz Anya and performing for the restaurant.
Everybody, since Victor left. Since Victor left. The food's no good. The food's no good. Since Victor left. The food's no good.
Unfortunately, things majorly backfire and Raven's dad doesn't get his job back. The lesson we learned here is, if your dad gets fired from his job, just be cool and let him drink his whiskey like a normal mediocre man in the midst of a midlife crisis. Those are just some of Raven's biggest screw-ups on the show, but let us know which one we missed from your favorite episodes in the comment sections, ya nasty. I have a vision of getting a ton of new Obsessed fans from this video, so make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons.